It was back on the witness stand this morning for Senior Superintendent Clifton Hicken as the Linden Commission of Inquiry continued. Senior Superintendent Hicken tried again to distance himself from instructions given to the Tactical Services Unit. Faced by a barrage of questions from Attorney Nigel Hughes, Hicken denied knowing the cell phone numbers for the Home Affairs Minister and the direct office line for the Minister at his Home Affairs Ministry office. Hicken testified, however, that the Commissioner of Police never authorized the use of shotguns, but he admitted giving instructions to Assistant Superintendent Patrick Todd, who was in charge of the TSU ranks, to use tear smoke and shotguns. He also admitted giving instructions to a police sergeant who was under his control to use shotguns. He said what he was really doing was reminding the TSU commander of the force's standard operating procedures.
I authorize English to use a shotgun depending on the circumstances.
Absolutely. And you authorize...
And I so authorize Todd.
And you authorize Todd. Did you get from the Commissioner of Police any specific authorization to use weapons on the 18th?
No, sir.
So the Commissioner of Police never authorized you to use weapons on the 18th?
No, sir.
Thank you. So the decision to authorize the use of those shotguns if the need arose was your decision?
Unit commander decision.
I'm asking you, where you gave the authorization as contained in your statement to Mr. Todd on the 18th to use shotgun if necessary, that was your decision, was it?
That was in my brief.
That was not what I'm asking you. Was it your decision?
It cannot be my decision. That's a brief. That's SOP. Tear smoke, shotgun. That's a brief.
Good. So when you took the decision to authorize the use of the shotgun if the need arises on the 18th, that was your decision based on the SOP?
It's not an authority. It's a reminder. That's a procedure.
Hicken was then quizzed about the Commissioner of Police and Assistant Superintendent Todd and asked whether they were honest policemen.
Would you describe Mr. Todd as an honest policeman?
Sir, I will describe Mr. Todd as a professional policeman.
Now, in relation to Mr. Brummel, would you describe him as an honest policeman?
Again, a professional Commissioner of Police acting.
Good. And you wouldn't use the word honest to describe him?
I won't use the word honest unless I'm describing me, sir.
That's very helpful. And what about Mr. English, Sergeant English? Would you describe him as an honest policeman?
Sir, Sergeant English is a police sergeant and a professional policeman.
He was later questioned about the conversation he had with Assistant Superintendent Todd when he arrived in Linden about the amount of stores they walked with to Linden, referring to the ammunition and firearms. Hicken denied having that conversation. But later, when Assistant Superintendent Todd took the stand, he admitted that a conversation did take place.
Do you recall when you met with Mr. Todd commenting on how little store they had sent the unit with?
No, sir.
You don't recall saying anything about that to Mr. Todd?
No, sir.
I reported to him, informing him the amount of ranks I brought to his division and the amount of stores we walk with. At the time, Senior Superintendent Hicken replied to me what kind of limit of stores you walk with to come to Linden. You're going to make a contact with Linden because Linden know what stores we just walk with.
And Senior Superintendent Hicken again denied today that he spoke to the Home Affairs Minister on the day in question, even after it was put to him that there were at least 10 phone calls between the two. The commissioners also quizzed Hicken about whether the lives of the policemen ever came under threat.
when you visited the scene, that is the bridge, was there at any time any act being done by the protesters that you thought was life-threatening to the police?
No, sir.
Did you at any time receive any report which you interpreted as meaning that any act had been done by the protesters which was life-threatening to the police?
Yes, sir.
From whom?
Assistant Superintendent Todd, sir.
Senior Superintendent Hicken was the commander of the E&F division at the time of the Linden incident. He has since been removed from that area. He could be called again before the commission to do some more explanation as the hearing progresses.